Kebra Nagast, glory of the kings. Kebra Nagast is an Ethiopic text, and it means glory of the kings. Kebra means glory. Nagast means kings, which is the plural of Nagus. So there's an association that I'm making with Kebra, which means glory, and Cobra, that subsequently was adopted by the English language. Why would the English language adopt an East African word and translate it as, a serpent that is connected with, of course, the original meaning, which means glory? So what's glorious about the serpent? What's glorious about the cobra specifically? Don't be scared when I say serpent, because you associate that with, Apophis, or so-called Satan. Forget about it. All ancient cultures, or majority of ancient cultures, had some type of reverence, veneration toward this animal. Why? Okay, going back to East Africa, Ethiopia, Eritrea, the area there, the cobra, not only the area, but all throughout Africa, and the Americas, so on and so forth, Asia, the cobra was the emblem of power. We see it specifically in the royalty and the kings and queens of ancient Kemet, nowadays called Egypt, mistakenly, right? The kings and queens used to have a cobra here. Can you see here? Look here, where the first eye is situated, right? So why would they have a cobra on their forehead? What was that symbolizing? Head, intellect power, wisdom, right? So the cobra is wise, right? So this is the seat of, I don't want to say the soul, but this is the seat of the divine, the gateway that will lead you to, higher realms, divinity. The cobra is also symbolized as a striking cobra, symbolic of striking your enemy. Yeah, so the cobra represents that. And wisdom, as I already said. Alright. And that is interesting. So the emblem of ancient Kemetic power, you name it, in the Americas, you name it. Cobras, dragons, in Asia, we know the Nagas. So you got the word cobra, which is again Kebra, which is cobra, and Nagast. Listen to the word Nagast, which means kings. Listen to it. Look at the root of the word, right? It's Nagas, it's Naga, right? And who are the Nagas? The Nagas are so-called serpent people, right? Literally. They are a species of people, and they are famous in the Far East. Until this day, they are venerated, Perhaps if you go in the Far East, and they ask, who are the Nagas? They will tell you that they are divinities, protectors of the waterways, right? And so there's a connection as well with water. Why water though? I know that in ancient Sumer, the word Naga, Nag means to drink, and A alone means water. So altogether, Nag-A means to drink water. And then I thought about it. I said, okay, this is a very ancient connection. This is not only, something that we consider relevant for the culture of ancient India or Kemet, This is coming from above. This is coming from the Elohim, the Anunnaki. So why would a Naga which we associated with the king afterwards in our culture in Eritrea and Ethiopia, the Naga, Nagus, that's the root of the word. Why would it be associated with drinking water? Well, in my opinion, Enki, our progenitor, was considered the king of the abyss. He was called also Ea, he whose home is water. Asar as well had a certain, connection with water. Not because he was thrown in the water, he was tied to a coffin by his jealous brother Satu and thrown, different stories. One say, in the Nile River, if you follow the Kemetic story, or they say also he was thrown in the sea, but he was the so-called god of vegetation. He was also depicted green, right? So inevitably had to do something with agriculture, therefore water to make, all that greenery sprouts from the ground. So I believe that this is somehow the ancient connection. But of course, it's innumerable the things that water can do. Of course, you drinking water, you have certain benefits throughout your body, throughout your system. But forget about that. So that's the glory of the king, the Kebra Nagast, Cobra, Nagast, kings, right? The Nagas. And it's interesting because when I was a little boy, I can put it that way, I think it was 2002, I was just 12. Listen, in the whole of Milano, they opened a Naga. It was a center for refugees and immigrants, to get their documentation right. They opened it in my street. It was 2 in the whole of Milano. Listen, a lot. Just 2. It's a big city. Come on. They opened 1 in the same street where I live, 50 meters away from me. I'm at the 22. That one was at the number 24, like this year, 2024. And that's the reason why perhaps I've been able to connect those dots. Although I did connect them at the end of 2023. Yeah. Coming into 2024. Exactly as the number that was there. And this Naga Center, another thing that is curious to me, was closed 2012 when I left Milano. So I left Milano. I lived all my life here, right? I left Milano though, 2012, and that Naga Center was closed the same year when I left. So yeah, it makes sense that I'm giving you this message. There's certain things that you have to hear. You must hear from a certain voice. Perhaps because they will be more impactful. Perhaps because they will be more believable. And perhaps because I've got certain prerequisites to leave certain messages, So therefore acting as a messenger now, as a higher messenger. This is high message, trust me. It's not the highest though that I have. But it's a very high message. So what I'm trying to say is I am restoring that kingship and clearing the air by way of talking, by way of talking and telling you the truth. That's what's happening now. So, and of course I know that people don't really want to do things from grassroots and, appreciate the small things, Give credit to the peasants, right? We want to go straight to the top. And in this case would be, kingship and royalty. So I don't necessarily align with that, but to really shake things up, you know, especially in this world where you've been just considered a byword, as you know, biblical text says, you will be a byword in a foreign land. Yeah, you are a byword in a foreign land, right? You've just been humiliated till this day. You don't know who you are. We don't know who we are. We are humiliated. Therefore, the message has to be strong. It has to come out strong. It has to do with the true nobility. It has to do with the true kinship. It has to be with the people, about the people of the true Trinity. So that's why I'm making few videos like this, because you have to understand that everything was taken from you and then just mixed in a big pot, you know, and new cultures were created out of your ingenious way, out of your own power, right? Out of the castles that you built, right? So yeah, that's my point. That's Kebra Nagast. That's the glory of the kings, right? That's the importance of a symbol, the cobra in this case, that has been revered, venerated, you know, respected, right? So we respected the nature of animals, you know. We took their qualities, you know, and their peculiarities, you know, their characteristics, and we absorb them, you know. We've been able to make a connection. We've been able to use the power, God-given power, nature given power, nature as in nature, you know, even that was taken, of assimilating the reality around us. We are a product of our environment, and we were a people of nature. So we were studying thoroughly not only this reality as in earth and the earthly experience, but the cosmos and beyond. Therefore, we are it, because if we are a product of our environment, and you know, we engage mentally and with our heart to reach, you know, a higher purpose, a higher sense of being. Therefore, we are there, you know, in the quest of looking for that, you know, we will get closer and closer to the truth, you know. What is the truth? Well, seems to be a never-ending journey, but we are part of that. We expand as the universe expands. So we are a product of our environment. So seek and you shall find the truth, and the truth shall set you free, right? Set you free. You will be free from set, you know. You will be free from, you know, that serpent that you might fear that much, you know. Apophis, you know. That's how it is. So we are the universe. We are the nature, you know. Succumb, you know. Succumb, it's a word that means, you know, life force, right? Kinetic, right? Succumb. We have that word in Tigrinya as well, you know. Let's say your mother gonna tell you to succumb. She's saying to you, to succumbo. She's saying to you, pick that up and hold it, like you put it on your shoulder. So that's the weight of whatever you're having on your shoulder, right? To succumbo. That's the weight of the world on your shoulder, you know. That's the life force. So it comes with a certain degree of, let's say, friction, with a certain degree of uncomfortable maybe state of being, you know, because you're lifting something, you know, Tusukomo Allah, integrinya tusukomo Allah. Look at feel the sound, Allah, yeah. Going back to who? To Allah, right? But it's worth it. It's really, really worth it. So yeah, that's the serpent power. And again, you know, it's not about being scared of serpents or anything, cobras or all the animals. They all have their purpose, right, in this experience, and they're just animals, really. So the serpent has a defense mechanism, as all the animals. It attacks you because it has a defense mechanism, you know. It defends its territory or whatever, or he feels threatened. Not only that, but you can associate the serpent with us because, you know, I said it before. Imagine, it represents Earth in a sense. It's slithering, you know, always in the ground, you know. Of course, we associate that with the serpentine energy. There's a reason for that, the two serpents. And as I said before, it can represent a phallus, or it might look like a phallus, so to speak, you know. And the poison being ejected like an ejaculation, right? So it makes sense. So he obtained the prey by injecting the poison, and we get women pregnant by, you know, ejecting our sperm. So, and at first I was thinking about it, and I said, yeah, but one seems to be negative and the other one positive, you know, because you see from the perspective of an animal poisoning another animal, you know, because we were conditioned to think that the serpent is bad. But what's the difference between a serpent, you know, and even a dog? If you leave a dog in nature, we try to eat all the squirrels and stuff like that, you know. Definitely hunting dogs. So what's the difference, you know? It's about survival. But you know, we don't act just in our reptilian brain as human beings, you know. We are divine beings. I mean, not everybody, but we are divine beings. We are higher. We are the universe, as I was saying to you. We are the product of our environment. You know, look at the hieroglyphs, you know. We're way more than we are being told, unfortunately. But it's our responsibility to resurrect our ancient ways, right? Resurrect our ancient way. Starting from what? The sun. Stay under the sunlight. My last video, I was speaking about, you know, Russian roulette. A couple of days after I was speaking about Russian roulette, and I did the breakdown of Russian roulette, somebody was sitting next to me, you know, somebody I know, has a Russian bag, yeah, with their alphabet. I'm like, wow. And we were sitting probably even in the same spot where I was the previous time by myself making a video. And I'm like, look at the universe, you know, just confirmation after confirmation. So we shift the reality around us, you know. This is magic, you know. I'm really doing magic, you know. A lot of people are doing magic without realizing, you know. This is real magic. I know I possess something that is even way more powerful than I can conceive. That's what I'm saying. The universe is continuously expanding, and I did expand with the universe eons ago. I know that already, you know. I know that already. You remember, this is our lowest state. Don't even think I'm giving you an empowering message, you know, compared to, you know, eons ago, let's put it that way, compared to centuries ago, thousands of years ago. I'm at my lowest. Don't think I'm even bragging. No, do never think that. Never think that. I don't feel some type of way because, you know, you somehow perceive something, you know. I'm doing it for you. I'm leaving you a message, you know. I'm leaving you a message, you know. You go against me, go against God. You go against me, go against the Most High. Trust me. Trust me, guaranteed. As long as I stay righteous, and as long as, you know, I'm not being deceived by so-called evil forces. I know the power that is behind me. I know who's protecting me. Trust me, I'm untouchable. until I will know that I'm untouchable, you know. The moment that I'm meant to fall, or even the moment that I'm meant to die and you know, ascend, transcend, whatever, you know, I will know. I will dream that before, you know. I see my enemy before. And that's what all about, you know, the first eye. It's all about the Cobra power. It's all about, you know, foreseeing things. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I promise you. I don't know why I'm ranting a bit, you know, but that's the serpent power, you know, striking the enemy. I always strike my enemies. I don't need to strike my enemies either. Somebody's doing it for me, you know. We do this from higher planes, you know. We see this before, you know. I've been even wrestling dark shadows sent by somebody, and I know that somebody, you know. What the hell is that? Wrestling, literally wrestling like a dark shadow. What the fuck does that mean? Wrestling a dark shadow. Can you fight spirits like that? Wrestling them, you know? And don't they show up? They don't show up themselves anymore then, you know? And it wasn't my dark shadow. Somebody sent it. I saw that. I saw you doing this. Saw you doing this. I saw you doing this. Where are you now? Chicken. But yeah, anyway, I mean, the evildoers don't deserve even our animosity, you know. Don't think that the way I'm speaking now, I'm losing energy addressing, you know, evil or something like that. No, I'm just speaking with power, you know. That's it. That's all I'm doing, you know. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to descend a little bit to the level that people are, let them understand the lesson, you know, and go back up at will. That's simple, you know. No energy loss, all gained, you know. I truly believe in righteous anger, you know, and I truly believe that our righteous anger, especially certain beings that reach a certain level of awakening or enlightenment, that righteous anger, be careful, control it, because it can shake the world. I mean, it does. I mean, it does. I'm sure it does, you know. And yeah. So yeah. So let these energies do the work. We've been wronged, you know. We are in Italy, for example, right? Yeah? East African people, certain East African people. For example, Eritrean people, right? Their women, our women, were told, for example, by the fascist movement, there's actually a hymn, a song that says that to your blackface, speaking specifically to women, you girl Abyssinian, you will be given a new law and a new king. See how they try to assimilate you? And some of you go around bragging about this, bragging about pork, bragging about happy hour. Happy hour? We didn't have happy hour, we had happy ages. And that's where we meant to go back. Well, what the fuck is happy hour? Yeah? Eating that pork, right? And now you're happy. And now you're with your enemy. It doesn't mean that I'm considering everybody an enemy or everybody malevolent, you know, or disagreeable. But, you know, surely you're not meant to be assimilated by these people by way of losing yourself completely. And if you go with these people, you will lose eventually yourself completely. You know, you're gonna be complacent, you know, you're not gonna be that way. You know, I see you all over you. I see you all over you. You know, you will be given a new law and a new king, right? Not only that, you that are slave amongst the slaves. That's what they told you, that you are a slave as an Eritrean person, woman. As an Eritrean woman, you are a slave amongst the slaves. Think about it, man. People are here, you know, breaking bread together, doing that. So how the hell you think the ancestors are looking at you, you know? Their blood is screaming, is on the ground now, you know? And it reaches far. It's reaching our conscience, it's reaching our hearts, you know? Something must happen, you know? If some of us are powerful enough, and they say, earthquake here, flood there, you know? Righteous anger. I'm not talking about crazy talk, like doomsday talk, or let the end word. No, 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 no. Let the war start. Let the world restart. Somebody gotta press the restart button, because this is enough. This is too much, you know. A lot of us have been watching, listening, saying nothing. Somebody saying something, maybe in a shy way. No, 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 no. They gotta tremble. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And that's king talk. It's about calling shots, you know. Somebody gotta do it. Somebody gotta do it. Because everybody seems to be hypnotized, desensitized. No, no, never desensitized. Yeah, I've been for too long, but I always knew where my heart, you know, was meant to be. And it's always being directed to the original people, the agreeable people, so-called, right? As the master teacher would say, Malachi Tzadok, you're right. So that's my energy. I knew it since I was a child. I knew that something was wrong. I always knew that. I always saw the good benevolent nature of certain beings here, certain immigrants, certain Senegalese, you know. Their meek nature, meek as in being benevolent, meek as in somebody that comes from a place where war is not an everyday thing, you know. That state of being that put you in a constant state of survival and competition, it's not a thing, you know. We come from a place where it's about community, it's about sharing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm the one that, you know, has necessarily this type of mentality, because now the world is fucked up. And believe me when I tell you, you know, I cut bridges. I am extreme, I'm like that. But I don't give a fuck, I can fly. I cut bridges, I can fly, it's okay. I go to the ether, come back, it's fine. I cut bridges, but something is wrong, you know. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, I was raised in a proper way by a righteous being, especially, you know, coming from a line of very righteous people, very noble people. I'll say it as it is. I know that, going back from a line of kings, I'm sure. Righteous people, forget about kings, talking about righteous people. You don't have to be a king to be righteous. To be righteous means you have a green heart. That's what I'm talking about. That's the king. The king has a green heart. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about kings, about the glory of the kings. Not the literal king. Not everybody can be the king, the one. How? You know? You can perhaps have one per nation, and then the successors. So what about the others? So everybody is king. That's what I'm trying to say. King. Look at the word ki, ng, ki. Ki means earth, right? In ancient languages, Sumer. And what's ng? Ng stands for Naga. You are Naga king. That's what I'm trying to say, you know? Naga, to drink water. I must drink water, it's hot now. So I might end this video now. So remember your glory, you know. I have an inner awareness that our people know right from wrong. And whenever we are involved doing wrong, it's because we decide to act devilish. We decide to be the people of Satan. I know that. I know where people do wrong and they know it's wrong, you know. There's a certain demographic of people, they cannot discern. I'm telling you. You know, I've been living with these people. I see the level or lack of level of empathy, lack of level of understanding, or shall I say understanding, right? Overstanding. I can see they just simple stuff. They cannot say right, they cannot say wrong. Because they are encoded that way. Some people lack that universal power. Some people lack that light, you know, to reason, you know. Some people is really like a serpent in a grass, considering the negative aspect. But not you. You are the Kebra Nagast. You are the king of righteousness. You are the queen of righteousness. Glory belongs to you. Salute.